Hi guys and welcome to another Train Sim 2021 video. Today we are taking a look at something I should have taken a look at like last week, which is the Class 455 Enhancement Pack version 1, volume 1 from Armstrong Powerhouse. Three reasons why it's all been a bit of a nightmare recently. I am down 8 gigs of RAM, so I'm currently running only on 8 gigs of RAM, one stick of 8 gig. Which may make performance a little bit choppy. I do apologise. Still trying to work out whether it's the socket or the actual stick of RAM itself. Haven't had time to go through it all yet, but I will do, and as soon as I do, you guys will get some more videos as well. Second of all, I've just been really busy. it's the bottom line of it. So 455, not a train I am massively keen on. It's not something I'd go out my way to get on and try or anything like that. It's not something I've massively used in my time. I've been on a couple of them in my time. Once, twice in the Connex days, and then again relatively recently on a southeastern one of the refurbed ones. Yeah, I like the fact that there's still sort of camshaft control and everything there. I have not looked at any videos of this or done it on stream or anything like that, so you are getting my first look. First things I'm already noticing is the cab looks like it's had some nice bit of retexturing done on it, which is quite tidy. So we'll do it as usual with an AP one. We will have a quick look and listen to what's going on around us. Then we'll have a read through the manual, and we'll see what I think of it at the end of it. Price is $11.99, so I don't expect it to be the most in-depth of EPs that Rich has done for a while. But anyway, let's stop the chatting away and let's get going. It is raining as well. I do apologise about that, but this is the scenario I picked. Hello, driver faces first. Change to driver only operation by Control and R. Control and R you can have. And open the doors here at West Croydon. I need to do that with, I'm guessing, T and O, because I haven't got the door control panel on, which I should have done before I started recording. Put you on. PBC and door panel on. But to part 758, you'll then call it Norwood Junction, blah, 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 blah. Right, okay. You'll need to do this by moving. Make sure you turn the tail lights on your rear. The 456, you'll need to do this by moving to the cab of that unit and using the mouse to control the tail light switch. Finally, make sure the destination blind displays London Bridge by Forest Hill, and don't be too fruitful with the power as it's rather slippery out there. That's a good plan. I picked this scenario so I could show off the wheel slip. Tail light on these is there. And then I'm guessing F6, F7, or can I do it from in-cab? No. I like the compressor noises. Oh, not F6. Oh, how do I go back? Oh, I quite like that. Okay, so shift to do the driver's side and everything. We'll run out of time for the destination bar, but we'll do it. Don't worry. Let's get the cab set up so we're not late running into anything before we go anywhere. I need to turn the AWS on. Okay. It's a bit weird. Right, headlights. We're not too worried about the scenario, remember, guys, because we just did it like this. And I think that should be pretty much us. Set my zero off as well. And now do I need to put this into step 4 notches? Oh no, I've got 66 plugged in properly. I'm being forward with Del Palin. Oh, we can hand notch on this, I bet, can't we? Because it's camshaft. Looks nice. It's a 455. It's got the extra handrails and stuff at the front, which the other ones didn't, and that jazz. Quite like that. I'm not so keen on the windscreen wiper, I'll be completely honest. Straight off the bat there. Horns an improvement. Most things are improvement over the original 455. let's be honest. Let's be honest. Anything's an improvement over what we had before. We've got 60 now, so we can go to Wakefield. So yeah, so far, irritating windscreen wipers. Should have picked a scenario that doesn't have it. Right, okay, so, liveries. It comes with BR blue and grey. Are we slipping there? Network Southeast logo and just normal BR blue. Then we've got Network Southeast with BR logo, Network Southeast, South London Lines logo, nice. Oh god, there's loads of the NSE ones. What was that ticking? Oh, I know where we are. I sound surprised, don't I? It's because I usually am. If I do some of these South London routes and actually know where I am, I tend to get a bit sort of like, oh, I know where we are. So you've got NSE, Network Southeast, NSE2, NSE2BR, NSE2 SLL, NSE2 SWL, ex-NSE2 NSC, South London Lines logo, NSE2 SL. Jesus. Okay, you're not short of a livery, ladies and gentlemen. You are not short of a livery. Let me put it that way. Then you've got South West Trains 1. Then you've got Connex with Connex South Central logo and London Metro logos. And then you've got, without the Connex logo, so the X one. Then you've got the South Central, which is the green with the white. So that's pretty cool. Right. Non-standard keyboard commands, always a good one for me because then I know what I'm actually doing after time. Cab light on and off, destination blind second man side down, destination blind second man side up is F7 and F8, and then it's shifted F7 and F8. Right, that's cool, I've got that now. Destination blind light switch. Like that. I've actually got, even on the ceiling here, and the blue you might, I don't know if you guys can see it up there, is a cut up destination blind from a 455. I'm not sure which ones though. Let's get back into Wakefield and see if we slip. Yeah. Is that like some relays clicking in? I'm not sure what that is. Oh, we'd be 5, wouldn't we? No, 6. 6 cars on this, 6. Oh, loving the squeaking of the brakes is lovely. The little bit. Liking that a lot. Liking that a lot. Can't say I'm massively. There's nothing standout-y jumping out at me overwhelmingly Pressure ventilation side stuff's nice. I think it's hard to be that... I can't get that enthused about this because I'm not that enthusiastic about them really in real life. So I'm trying to look at it from sort of train simmy. Did I open these on the right side? I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's quite hard to get that enthusiastic about it. So I'm trying to look at it from like a train sim sort of point of view. And the driving feeling is nice. Not going to lie, it is nice to drive. Oh, I'm DOO. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, so yeah, nothing massively new on the extra keyboard binds there at all. Features, so it's got the visual 458/8 original front style, which is what we've got on at the moment. Then there's the 455/7s, which have got the X508 tray standard open. So some of these got lengthened to have a TSO from the 508 series of trains. So it's a PEP coach in the sort of Mark III set as such, which are quite cool. Glad to see that's been done as well. Press ventilator grills, I've also just literally spoken about those. These are these here, because of course no aircon. Camshaft traction system. This pack implements this pack implements the camshaft system of regulating power. The Class 455 being the final class of unit to utilise this. This works by progressively cutting out resistance when powering up to control current to the motors, as well as the resistance. The traction motors can be set up in 2 modes as to control current. So series and parallel, which is your notch 1 and 2. Sorry, 2 and 3 on this. I'll read it properly, and then I won't get it wrong. It's probably the right way to do it, isn't it? And some weird Z fighting on the brake gauge there as well. And the headlights. And the speedo for the instrument lights. So the resistance and traction modes are controlled depending on which of the 4 power notches the driver selects. So 0 is traction power off, 1 is shunt, all resistance are in the circuit. This means minimum acceleration, which soon decays the traction motor until their motor's in series mode. As the unit gains speed, resistance is progressively removed from the circuits until they're all removed. As each resistance is removed, acceleration increases. And then you've got parallel. Once the unit has gone through the steps described above, the traction motors will switch to parallel mode and all resistance is placed back into the circuit. This provides a significant increased acceleration. As speeds increase, pairs of resistors are then progressively removed from the circuit for further acceleration. So imagine it like a tap. The more you're unscrewing that resistance, the faster you go, is literally how you sort of do it. And then you get to like weak field. And that then sort of weakens. So once the unit has gone through both series and parallel steps, it will start to weaken the field of the traction motors, which once again provides a boost acceleration. If this notch is selected before all resistance have been removed from the circuit, the resistance will be removed quicker than in lower notches as to exceed acceleration. So you can actually accelerate quite quickly in notch 4 if your track conditions allow you to, which is always nice. Anytime it's possible to halt the progression listed above by selecting a lower handle. Why am I not getting my words out today? What is going on? Lack of practice. Selecting a lower power handle position, except for notch 0. For example, if you wish to take all of the resistance out of series notch, you can hold it in the current level acceleration by pushing the power handle back into the shunt notch. This is known as hand notching, so you can notch up. You can only decrease power by returning the power handle to off, and then reapplying the handle to select your desired notch. If you find you're unable to attain power at any point, the traction motors may have overloaded. This is especially likely during wheel slip. To attain power again, turn off the power handle to off and press the overload reset button. I don't know why it does that sort of weird non-sound thing in the cab for things. So it's a bit slippy to go straight into Wheatfield. So if we stick it in 2. We should have slightly better acceleration. While keeping with the track conditions, of course. We're not got far to go anywhere till Penge. Sounds like it should be a rude name, that, doesn't it? Sounds like a slang term for something rude. I don't know what. Just that sounds like it should. Wipers are truly irritating. It's really nice to drive. I love that brake squirrel at the end there. Right, wheel slip protection. So it's got wheel slip protection, usual stuff with that. So spring, or summer, autumn, and winter, you get different wheel slips. Blah 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 blah. Braking, you get wheel slide. That's got exactly the same thing as well. So you get severe, light, and very severe. It's got DOI operation, which we're using at the moment. So it's T and U or T and O for the doors, like we've come to expect from the AP packs at the minute. Guard operation again is just T, and control R to change those. Destination wise, you are not short of destinations. I'll put it that way for you. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 different things there. Variable power brake performance. Any train. This I love this feature being in the AP packs these days. It just adds that much sort of. It's a real simple thing you think in your head, like that it sort of can vary your power and braking performance, and you kind of go, well, will it make that much difference? Will it really make that much difference? The answer is yes. If you drive a unit a lot, you get very used to driving them in a set way, and by having it variable, it opens up the level of immersion for me, really. What it kind of does is you never get too confident driving the same train, which I quite like. You never quite know if your brake's going to bite that little bit more. A lot of it with the SEP, I find, driving the SEP quite a lot, I do notice it. So just to tell you, those guys that don't know, as per reality, through wear and tear, some traction motors are louder than others. To simulate this, we have implemented the... Oh, sorry, that's the variable traction motor volume. Any train will tell you that braking performance can vary quite noticeably on the unit, despite being within the same class. We've simulated a variable random brake and power factor every time you drive a unit in simulator. This factor can reduce or increase performance by a maximum of 8% either way for the brakes and 10% either way for traction power. There is no way of finding out what power factor you have been allocated except for assessing the feel when power braking, just like a real driver. Great one. So motor volume again, so this has been done, ranges from 1 to 6, so that how quiet and how loud the motors are. This cannot be changed by the player. I'd have maybe liked that changeable, but then I'd always just run it in the loudest. So maybe having it variable again offers some more realism. Right, my favourite section, Richard's bits and bobs. Let's wait till we've pulled in here, and then I'll go through his bits and bobs. Ooh. Right, this section is dedicated to aspects of the pack that don't warrant a dedicated section but are still of note. So high resolution cab visuals. I have noticed those. They are nice. They are very, very nice. The cab itself, because it's not the original cab, which is something I am going to bring up. But that would have meant different model changes and things like that. Thomson did an original cab in their 455. I think, was it Thomson did the original cab? A bit more like the 317, not with the round lights, not the DRA, that sort of thing. So I don't know what year these got new cabs and things. So I'm no absolute pro on them, but I know that the original BR ones would not have had a cab that looked like this. Door handles added that were later removed in the mid-2000s refurb. Yeah, the ones at the front. 4-step reverser on a 4-neutral reverse. TPWS light illuminate during AWS self-test. I didn't get that, actually, funny enough, starting that up. That might have been me flicking around too fast with the controller, though. If the brake handle is stepped to 2, 3, or emergency whilst power in, power will be lost and you must return the handle to off. Great one to have. Let's see if we can try and get a little bit. Oh, we're stopping at Forest Hill anyway. This would be the fastest service. Visual alarms outside of cab when AWS is active. The visible drive automatically moves to whichever cab you're in. It's a nice feature. Emergency brake pressure applied when reverser is off. When moving the reverser away from off, brake pressure will release. The AWS self-test has been reset. The reverse placed forward or reverse. When the sander button is pressed, you must be in power notch, and it will only apply for 10 seconds maximum time. If you wish to apply sander after 10 seconds, you must repress the sand button. That's quite cool. I like that. 1 second delay between the AWS magnet. Wobbly speedometer, needle, especially at low speed. Already did see that earlier, that's cool. Flash of the breaker on the MSO vehicle when cutting power. We'll go and have a look at that in a second. The headlights only illuminate at sunset and sunrise. Perfect. High quality head and tail light visuals. Not going to be able to look at the tail lights because I've got 4, 5, 6 in the rear. Correct look and sight lock coupler applied as well, yes. Oh, there is bogey cam. Wicked. We can have a look at that in a second. Wipers operate on AI services if it's raining. I don't ever think I've seen another 455 yet. So I think what I'm taking from this is we're now seeing sort of some of those headline features that were available in other packs and now becoming standard in the EPs. And I love that. I think that's really showing a much better level of consistency than we're used to with some of the other EPs. I know it's not across the board consistent, and everybody's going to go, but it's not always consistent. Why doesn't it have GSMR? They got it working in this and not in that. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. There are many factors that go into it, unfortunately, and it's just not that simple. Rich has been on stream a few times and discussed this in depth with us. Something like this, if the model hasn't been made to be clickable, adding click spots is doable, but adding stuff that then can put the screen and stuff on top of that with the objects, it's not as simple as it sounds. Don't get me wrong, would have been nice to have GSMR in this. I would have liked to have seen GSMR in this, but it kind of is what it is. It's $11.99. It's not £1 million, and it's. I'm not saying that $11.99's not money. It is money, of course. It's just money, but I know what it's like being desperate for AP packs and not being able to afford them and having to wait and then worrying because one of them's more expensive than the other one. But I think for the standard level of detail we're getting at the moment, it is really, really impressive. Especially things like the power factor, the way the camshaft control system's working. The drive of this is very, very nice. The visuals, I know you lot are all, a lot of you are all about the external visuals. I don't know the 455s enough to comment on them. I only noticed the tight lock coupling because it's been said. The handrails I did notice though. Hello! The headlight and tail lights do look nice. Pressure ventilation's good. If I do shift 2 and then that. Loving that. Loving that. That is going to be a step 3 into this thing. Also flashing when I was going through the break in there as well. And the doors. I don't know if that's meant to happen or not. Is that what my clicking is? Is that the clicks I've been hearing? There's definitely something clicking, isn't there? Another 455 with its wiper working. Sorry, I could watch that all day. I wonder if the AI vehicles do that as well. Because that would look really cool at a night scenario. Trying to slip and cut out again. That's the camshaft going back. That's what we're getting. That's what the clicks are. Getting bowled by another one. I like it. I like it. It's fun to drive. I say this I don't say this quite often actually. It's something that I should say more of, is that it's all well and good with things looking brilliant and having a nice little feature here and there and a destination screen that works or whatever is a great thing. But if it doesn't drive right, it kind of really lets it down for me. And this feels like you've got to drive it. It's not something you can just sort of pop and go. I think you've got to sort of, I mean, especially when you learn about hand notching and things like this is going to be fun to drive. Not that you're going to get it up to much line speed, really. I mean, there are definitely stretches where it does its full sort of 75, but a lot of it is sort of going to be the metro-y, stop-any service. Shoe fuse there. That's some consist, that, isn't it? That's pretty cool. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 scenarios that come with this, as per usual with an EP. What I would also say though is, I haven't checked, but I bet there is already some scenarios on Powerhouse. available for this. Those of you that don't know what Powerhouse is a standalone scenario app store. Think of it a bit like an app store for scenarios by Armstrong Powerhouse. I will do a video on it. It won't be the longest video in the world. It'll probably be quite quick, but I will do a Powerhouse video for you guys to see. Coming a little bit hot here. I'm going to get some wheels slide. No, nice braking though. Sort of weird, isn't it? Because I could sit here and say, well, I really like the way it drives, but I don't really enjoy the stop-start nature of the route it runs on, the routes it runs on. But then the fun is in the power and the braking, so it's swings and roundabouts. I think if this pack is definitely 100% going to be used as AI, and we're going to see a glut of scenarios coming for like London to Brighton, South London lines, all of that. You're going to see a glut of that happening. On that basis alone, for $11.99, with also the way this thing drives, I'd be going for it. I might not drive it hugely. As I said, not really my area, not really my thing. But when I do drive it, I will be quite happy to drive it. Do you think the lack of an original cab does let it down a bit? But then it would have been like double the price. Do I think it's worth double the price of the original cab? Probably not. Did we need a 455 enhancement pack? Yes. Have we got one now? Yes. Have we got a decent one now? Yes. Is it better than the sound pack? Yes. Is it better than even Nick's old improvement pack? Yes. It handles really nicely. It's going to be good fun to drive. I think we're going to end up seeing some pretty cracking scenarios of this, if I'm honest. 455s have a pretty wide sort of area of use, and with the stuff that's in Volume 1, yeah, okay, you're not going to get the most bang up to date new ones with the new front end and all that jazz. Yeah, it's one of those units that I think if you're enthusiastic about it, again, Armstrong Powerhouse have smashed it with it. Am I massively over the top with it? It's not my cup of tea, really. But it drives beautifully. It sounds nice. And the way it drives is very, very good. I'm not going to keep saying that. I'll have fun with it. Is it going to be one of these ones that I think converts me to liking them? No, probably not. But you will see me drive this quite a fair bit, I think. So is it worth your $11.99 to go out and do it? And like I always say, if it is something you're going to use, then of course, yes. Am I going to run out and say that this is a must-have for Train Sim? Not if you like driving East Coast mainline stuff or West Coast mainline stuff, no. But if the sort of suburban London commuter belt, South London commuter belt is your cup of tea, then yes, without a doubt. And for completion's sake, for completeness' sake, with things like the SEP, now the 455 done, and all of that, we already know that AP are already talking about more slammers. You've got the 205s as well, the 465s, the 456s. You're just sort of completing that sort of collection of stock for that area. And what you're going to find is there'll be a load of scenarios on Powerhouse, there'll be a load of scenarios on ATS, there'll be a load of scenarios out there that will utilise all of those upgraded EP bits of stock, new bits of stock, whatever. And if you don't own them, you're not going to be able to play that scenario properly. So it's down to you. Whether you invest in it now or later or wait for a sale, that's your call. That's your call. Am I happy to think that this is the new standard for EPs? With the features it comes with, yes. Has it got its flaws? The cab is a flaw. The cab for me is a big flaw, and I don't like the windscreen wiper noise. Bar that, not really. There's not much else for me to moan about. A few little niggles with the AWS self-test, but I'm guessing that was my end. Performance-wise, it's been fine. I mean, again, I'm only running on 8 gig of RAM. Oh, crawling way too fast, Al. And I mean, this is probably only about my 10th time ever into London Bridge on Train Sim. Usually I do scenarios that are leaving London Bridge. It's just not a route I cover very often. But I will be glad to turn those off. Master your machines. Train Sim Academy. Now it's TSW2 Mastery. Alright guys, thank you ever so much for sticking through this video. It's, as I said, it is what it is. If you like the 455, you're going to love this pack. If the 455 is something you just want as AI or anything like that, fits the bill really well for that. Looks gorgeous from the outside and got all the little additions that you'd want. Driving, it's really nice. Again, the cab is my slight bugbear, and the windscreen wiper noises. But that's it. So, once again, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to thomson.com for your latest and greatest train sim needs. Head over to Facebook, and if you want to just talk generally about trains or have any questions about TS or anything like that. And also join us over on Twitch on a Monday and a Wednesday night, and some Fridays as well. But if you're in the Facebook group, you'll find it when the streams are as well. That's for more an adult pub-style atmosphere, sitting talking about trains really anyway. So, once again, guys, thanks ever so much, and I'll catch you next time.